because you are on a diet or trying to eat healthily, it doesn't mean you still can't have your favourite foods. I want to get to the end of the day and feel full and satisfied. You don't need them, they're not going to help you. They're just extra calories and sugar that your body doesn't need. You need to try this. One of my biggest hates is when people on diet say they are starving all of the time, and you really don't need to be. To my channel. So today we have another what I eat in a day, but more importantly my 5 top tips on how to get back on track when you have either slipped up on your diet, had a binge, or you're just feeling a little bit groggy and want to get into a healthy routine. These are my 5 crucial tips to get back on track, and I swear by all of them. Now it has just been the weekend and it was my mum's birthday, and also the first proper weekend where I could see my friends, and I have to say my normal healthy routine kind of went out of the window a little bit. I pride myself on being really healthy, eating healthy, living a healthy lifestyle, but all of that went over the weekend for some reason, and I just went a bit mad, and now I'm left feeling just not very nice. And this is going to be what I eat to make me feel healthy again and just get me back on track. I used to be so restrictive after having a binge or like just being unhealthy for a while. I used to just clamp down, do loads of exercise and not eat enough really, but I've learned that is just not the way forward. It is not sustainable. You don't feel your best. You end up just being really low on energy, and then you get into this recycle of like being really restrictive and then being really unhealthy, and then you go again, and it's just a dangerous diet cycle to get into. I think the best way is everything in moderation and living really healthily, but also living by these 5 tips. And I will be sharing them throughout today's video, and also how I'm eating at the moment, which is making me feel my best and gives me loads of energy to fuel my day. So before we fast forward to breakfast, my first tip might be very obvious, and that is to get enough sleep. Now science proves that if you don't get enough sleep, which is normally about 8 hours as a minimum, then you actually get more hungry, because it makes your hormones fluctuate. The ones that control when you are full and when you are hungry, they end up fluctuating, which makes you actually want to eat more than your body needs. It also helps with energy and your athletic performance, and it just makes you feel your very best, and you're just not so lethargic all of the time. So if you've fallen off the bandwagon, make sure you are getting enough good quality sleep. Make sure you get some beauty sleep to help you feel your best. So for breakfast this morning, I'm actually going to make myself a chocolate porridge, because I want to prove that even if you are eating healthy, you can still have chocolate or chocolate flavoured things. And I'm going to go and put cacao powder and have my peanut butter cacao porridge, which I adore. Just because you are on a diet or trying to eat healthily, it doesn't mean you still can't have your favourite foods. There are so many healthy alternatives to the foods you love. It is about finding alternatives that you enjoy as much as, say, a chocolate bar. So I'm going to have chocolate for breakfast. Even though I am eating healthily, it still makes me feel amazing, and I love chocolate, so we never give that up. First, you're just going to take half a cup of gluten-free oats, or whatever type of oats you like, and add it to a pan with half a cup of plant-based milk. I always use unsweetened almond milk just because I love the taste of it, but use whatever milk you like the taste of. Then I'm going to take 2 teaspoons of maple syrup and half a tablespoon of the Meridian peanut butter. I use all things Meridian because I think they taste so good and they are such high quality, but use whatever you have lying around in your cupboard. Then I just add 2 teaspoons of cacao powder and a handful of raspberries, and then you can add cinnamon as well if you like, and then I just add a splash of water to everything as well. Once everything is simmered together on the cooker for about 5 minutes, I then add 1 scoop of this protein by Nuces. I love the vanilla flavour, but you could add chocolate protein if you like, and give everything a good old mix. I get my fork out as well just to make sure there's no lumps of protein powder going on in there. Give everything a good old mix and make sure it's really stirred, and cook it for about 5 more minutes until it's nice and warm. Just before it's done, I add half a tablespoon of cacao nibs. Now these are a little bitter to start with. If you're having them for the first time, don't be afraid, you do learn to love them, and they basically taste like a bitter but healthy chocolate. Then I just top with some strawberries or whatever fruit you have in your fridge, and have a big glass of water with my breakfast too. Now, tip number 2 is to drink enough water. If you haven't already seen my gallon a day challenge, I try to drink a gallon of water a day still, even though I'm not on the challenge. It just makes me feel absolutely amazing. When I'm being healthy, I only have water, herbal teas, or coffee. They're the only 3 drinks I drink. I cut out all other drinks, so like no fizzy drinks, no squash. It's just sugars in it that you don't need, and they just don't make me feel my best. They leave me really bloated, feeling a bit uncomfortable, and I would really recommend cutting all of the drinks out. You don't need them. They're not going to help you. They're just extra calories and sugar that your body doesn't need. Also, drinking water has so many amazing benefits. There is literally an endless list of them, but some of them include boosting your metabolism, a natural appetite suppressant. Not that we're trying to eat less, we just want to be more in tune with our body and eating because we are hungry, not because we're dehydrated or tired. It really helps you get in with your body's hunger cues, so drinking more to make sure it's not the dehydration that's making you hungry. It helps remove waste from your body. So for me, I've definitely not been eating or drinking the healthiest over the weekend, and I want to get rid of all those toxins. So literally drink water to flush out the toxins, help your kidneys, and it's just going to overall really help you recover from either your binge or unhealthy lifestyle. It's just going to leave you feeling very clean and flushed out. My next tip is to make sure you do yoga. Now, I absolutely adore yoga. I bang on about this all of the time in all of my videos, and every single day I like to start my day off with yoga with Adrian. Me and my mum do it in my bedroom, and it just puts your mind frame in such a positive mood. Even if you're feeling a bit tired that day and don't want to do your workouts or eat healthily, just being mindful and present for 10 minutes or half an hour or however long you have got really helps you concentrate on your goals and puts you back into that healthy mindset. It's proven that yoga helps you be more conscious and in your head, and it also makes you better able to resist the unhealthy foods. I always find if I do yoga, I end up actually not wanting to eat like processed unhealthy foods anymore because I'm feeling at one with my body, very conscious, and want to put the best quality foods into my body. Not only that, but it helps with your sleep quality, so you could always do it again before bed. It really helps you relax and get a good night's sleep, which again is so important to stick with your healthy habits and get you back on track, as well as also being a form of exercise, so it does help with some muscle toning and just gets your blood flowing in the mornings. It's now time for lunch, and at the moment I've been obsessed with having either a smoothie bowl or an acai bowl for lunch. Now, you might be thinking of these horrible like low calorie juices. No, these are really filling big high calorie smoothie bowls, which are basically the same calories and intake as a meal. I just find them really quick and no hassle. I can get in my protein that I need. It's not going to take me a long time to make, and also it doesn't leave me feeling really bloated. Sometimes if I have a really big heavy meal for lunch, I feel really lethargic, tired, bloated, and it just doesn't work with my body. I love having a smoothie for lunch, and it leaves me feeling satisfied, and at the end of the day, that is what's important. You just need to listen to your body and do what works best for you. But I love having smoothies with bananas and loads of toppings, and especially acai. I'm just obsessed with acai bowls. They taste so good. So to start with, you're just going to take one of these Sambusan organic acai packets and then cut it up and stick it into your blender. I managed to break my NutriBullet, so we are now using this big blender, and I just think it makes smoothie bowls a lot better. It puts a less strain on it than a NutriBullet does. Then I'm just going to take some unsweetened almond milk and add half a cup of this to my acai, but you can add whatever plant milk you like. Then I'm going to add some frozen fruit, so I just added half a cup of frozen blueberries and 1 cup of frozen blackberries, but you can add raspberries or whatever sort of fruit you have in your freezer. Then I'm just going to add 1 frozen banana and break that up into little pieces. And then I just add 2 scoops of this vanilla protein powder, so 25 grams of whatever protein powder you like to use. I just personally like this Nucess one because it's really natural and has no added sugars. Mix everything up well and pop it in the blender, and it might take a little bit of mixing, but you will get that and get that perfect consistency. Then I'm just going to top it with 30 grams of this Deliciously Ella granola, which is my absolute favourite granola. It tastes so good. This is her old packaging, but she's just come out with this brand new all recyclable packaging, and oh, you need to try this. It tastes amazing. I just topped it with some frozen blackberries and a few blueberries, and that is everything. This is one of my favourite smoothie bowls. You need to try this. Now it is about 4 o'clock and surprise, surprise, I'm getting hungry again. I always have a mid-afternoon snack and that is always carrots and hummus. Sometimes I have roasted chickpeas or peanut butter and apple or just a handful of nuts, some sort of a really whole snack, but I'm just obsessed with carrots and hummus and I'm going to go and get that and then go and do tip number 4, which is getting an extra walk. Now the weather outside is surprisingly, it's all right. It's not sunny, but it's fine. It's England, it's not raining, so we'll take that. And I'm gonna go on a half an hour, 40-minute walk and just get in some extra steps. Now, even if I go to the gym in the morning, I always love getting in an extra walk. It gives me more energy, it clears my head, it improves my mood, but also if you are trying to be a bit healthier or get yourself back on track, it does also burn some calories and it gets in some extra steps and cardio, which is always a positive. There are so many health benefits of just walking, getting outside, being with nature, not trapped in your house. It's very easy to overeat if you're just sat in your house all day, and I really feel like getting outside, being in the sun makes you feel so much more mindful and aware of what you're eating and how you are feeling. It is now 6:30 and it is dinner time and I'm hungry. My body just knows I'm in such a routine. It knows what time it needs feeding and it's that time again. So I am hungry again. I'm actually going to be cooking something from a brand new cookbook tonight. And that is this Naturally Stephanie cookbook. Now I love Stephanie's channel so much. I've followed her for years on YouTube and I was so excited when I found that she was releasing a cookbook, and I've had a little look through here and I can't even decide what I want to cook. There are so many great high protein meals, but the one I've decided on tonight is the creamy garlic and white bean spaghetti. It looks so good. I mean, look at this. Super creamy, tofu, all the ingredients in, so I'm very excited to show you how I cook this. And what I love as well is it doesn't look too complicated. It looks so simple to make. I hate it when you get a recipe out and you're tired, it's the end of the day and you can't be bothered, but all of these recipes look so simple. So we're gonna go and make ourselves some dinner. So I just made this and oh my gosh, I love this recipe and I love her whole cookbook. If you want me to do a review of this cookbook, then just let me know in the comments below and I could either do a whole day eating like Stephanie or a cookbook review, whatever you want to see. Now, it might not be the most appetizing meal I've ever cooked, but it tastes amazing and was so filling and just so good. My final and top tip is to make sure you eat loads of fruit and vegetables. Now, this might be like one of these things that your parents always says, make sure you eat all vegetables, but really it is so important. Vegetables especially mean that you can eat a lot more volume for the amount of calories, and ultimately it's going to help you feel more full. There is also so much fiber, which is really good for you as well, and especially in the evenings I get to the end and that's why I'm so happy with my cup of tea. I really am that comfortable full feeling. I've learned to listen to my body. I know when it's full. I want to get to the end of the day and feel full and satisfied, and that is what eating loads of vegetables, whole ingredients, is going to make you feel. The worst thing I find when eating processed food is I can eat so much of it and still not feel satisfied. I like big portions of healthy vegetables, stir fries, but even if that just means adding in a few more fruits and vegetables to your day, it's really going to make a big difference. The fibre is going to help your metabolism, help your digestion out. One of my biggest hates is when people on diet say they are starving all of the time, and you really don't need to be. Honestly, if you add in bigger portions of fruit and vegetables, especially like green veg, so like green beans, lettuce, just adding that in is going to help you feel so much more full and satisfied and really stop you getting so hungry, because that is ultimately going to just throw you back off track. You're not going to be able to keep this up and it's not going to be maintainable. You need to find a diet where you're full, happy, don't feel like you're missing out. I'm the biggest preacher of a balance, and ultimately if you are happy, your body is happy, then you're going to stay on track. You're going to want to stick to this healthy lifestyle because it makes you feel your best and it makes you feel your happiest. Anyway, that is the end of today's video, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed seeing how I eat and how you can get back on track and feel your best too. And if you did enjoy today's video, it would mean so much if you would give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you all so soon. Bye!